Hey folks, Dan Frio here, the rate update. Today we're going to talk about refinancing. And I know, don't turn the channel because you hear every day, refinance, rates are low, this, that, and then you just look into it. It's so confusing. So let's pull the curtain back on all that. Let me go over some numbers with you, and then you see for yourself, does it make sense to refinance or not? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Don't go away. I get it. You're so sick and tired of hearing rates are the lowest in history and all this other stuff and the mailers and the this and hey, rates are 1.99 when you call and they're not 1.99 and so forth. So, but don't give up. Let me show you some numbers behind the things. And this might help you. It might not help you. You might be on a fantastic rate, refinance, took advantage of it, and you're all good to go. There's a lot of people out there that I spoke with in the last 6 months. They're like, they're at 4.25. And I give them a rate and it's 2.99. They don't want it because they want 2.75, and it never got there for them, and so they stayed at 4.25. So those are some things that really drive me nuts. But let me just show you some of the ads that I also see, because I'm a homeowner too, guys. So I see this: when is a good time to refinance? So I'm going to give you my honest opinion behind these things. But I'm also going to, explain to you, let's just go through the confusion here. There was a short video there, but then does it make sense to refinance? So let's get through the mumbo jumbo of, how to get a good rate and all the other stuff to the one thing that most people always say when they call. It's like, you're at 4.25 and I can get you 3.5. And you're like, that rule of thumb says it doesn't make sense unless I decrease my rate by 1% or more. Okay, so that's the biggest topic, or that's the biggest catchphrase that most people look into. So let me just go through some ideas on when might be a good time to refinance. Okay, so does it make sense? Will the savings be enough to make refinancing worthwhile? It usually costs 2 to 5% to refinance your home. Okay, let's dig in on that, because I can debunk that. I would never pay 5% to do a loan. I can't even fathom that it would cost anybody 5% to close on their loan, unless maybe you're getting a $50,000 mortgage, because the fixed costs are basically, I want to say in most cases, fixed. So that's, it doesn't cost you that much. When I quote rates to people, what I normally do is I quote it with very minimal fees, because let's say, for example, you have some health problems, you have to sell the house. Let's say you hit the lottery and retire. Let's say your job transfers and you have to move, and you just spend $10,000 to refinance, and a year later you got to move. You never recoup those costs. Okay, so that's what we want to talk about today. Be careful on the fees that you pay. That's the one thing I got to ask you. Yes, shop around for rate. Yes, do this. Yes, do that. But let's just talk about rate today, because rates are on their way up, and there's a lot of people that are still on the fence. They're saying, I should have done this when the rates were 2.75, 2.99. Now they peak 3, and everybody's like, oh boy, now what do I do? So don't think the rule of thumb of 1% is going to be the end all be all for you to refinance. So be very careful when you're doing this, because what you want to do is make sure you get a good rate and you don't pay a ton of fees. So let me go over a calculation with you, and I can send this to you if you want. It's an amortization schedule. You can just Google search it. So let's break down some numbers here. It'll be a fast video, I promise you. So let's say, for example, you have a $280,000 loan you took out recently, and the dates are irrelevant at this point, and your rate is 4.25. Okay, you can see down here that your payment's $1,377. But what I want you to see is the total. We'll just say the total interest paid on this mortgage. So it's $215,000. Okay, and that's at 4.25. There's a lot of people still out there with a higher rate than 4.25. So let's just say I can get you 3.75. What would that do? So remember, our benchmark right now for interest we're just going to round it to $215,000. So by dropping your rate to 3.75, we're going to go from right here 215 to what? 186. Well, let's do the math on that thing, because I'm not the brightest bulb in the packet when it comes to math. We got 215 minus 186 means you're going to save $30,000 on that loan by dropping your rate to 3.75. Okay. The next thing is, let's say it's 3.5. What's that going to do? Now we're 186. Where's that taking us to? 172. Now it's an additional $14,000 in savings. So I'm going to round all these numbers. So bear with me. We were to $29,000 savings prior to. I'll round that to 30. And now we're 14. So now you're $44,000 in savings by going from 4.25 to 3.5. Okay, guys, that's 75 basis points. Well, let's say you can get the whole 1% and you go down to 3.25. How much more are we going to save? Now we're at 172 down here. Let's see where that is. 158. So another 158 and 172. I know my math is bad. 158, 172. Another 14,000. Okay. Now you're at almost $60,000 in interest savings. Okay, guys. So that's what I'm trying to get to is, please, I know there's fees involved. I know there's things behind the scene, but by dropping your rate even 0.5%, you save money. 0.75%, more money, 1 full percent, a ton of money. Also, let's throw out this way. If you're you bought a house 3, 4, 5 years ago, and you only put down 3 or 5%, and you have PMI. Let's look at getting rid of that. Even if you have the same rate. So let's say you took out an FHA loan and you're at 3.5, and you refinance today into a conventional loan at 3.5. You're probably going to save about $200 to $300 by removing the PMI. It's another idea. So these are just not pulling out any cash, because if you need cash, that might be the best way to tap into some money today. Credit card rates are at 18%. Mortgage rates are still at 3.5%. Why do you have credit card bills paying 18%? Why do you have car loans? If you have if you had bad credit and you bought a car, you might have a 15, 18, 20, 25% interest rate. These are just some ideas. A lot of people are very reluctant on moving right now. I don't want to move. My house value is way up there, but if I move, I have to buy another house that's way up there. So what am I doing? We just finished our basement. We just did some other things. What do? I can refinance. I actually refinanced my house, took the same rate, and pulled out money to do this. So those are just ideas. Don't, watch the home equity loans, because they're almost all adjustable rates. What are rates doing right now? They're going up. So watch that. If you're on an ARM, get out of the ARM, because rates are only going to go up. Lock in now so you don't have to worry about that payment getting out of hand. So this is just one thing that we can do for you on our consultations. We are a mortgage lender, okay? I'm a mortgage consultant is the way I look at it. I'm not just a loan officer where you plug in your data and we lock in your rate, we get your documentation to do it. I give you my ideas. I give you input. Here's what I would personally do. You don't have to do it that way. You're the boss. But I've done this for 33 years. I'll guide you in a direction because I'm not trying to take you down the wrong path. I'm on all social media. That's what brings in almost all of our business. I don't want to put you in a bad situation so I get a black mark and then nobody uses us. So I'm going to do the best we can for you guys. How do you find out more about me and my team? Basically, it's really simple. All you have to do is go into therateupdate.com. This is going to pop up. Give us a call. It's our phone number. It's a toll-free number, 844-775-LOAN. That's 844-775-5626. Or you can apply right online. We have state-of-the-art mortgage application online. You're going to pull your own credit. You're going to see your credit scores. You're going to actually try to validate your job history. You're going to put in your assets. You're going to do a lot of the pieces of the puzzle. I'll step in, tweak your mortgage application, run it through. So within probably hours, you're going to have an approval. You're going to have a pre-approval back in your hands. One of the things most people are doing right now, they're clicking here. They're going to schedule an appointment. You can set up on the day and time of your convenience. What we do at that point is we ask you, how do you want to do this? You want to do it by Zoom, or do you want to do it by phone call? If you do it by Zoom, then we can look at maybe your mortgage statement. We can look at your assets. We can look at your pay stubs. We can answer any and all questions. You can even watch us live in the Zoom call, work on your mortgage applications, and work on getting you an approval. So all this basically at your fingertips. How do you reach out to us? That's how you do it. Also, please check the description below. There's my email address, our 800 number, and a whole bunch of other stuff that you might find valuable. So I hope you find value in this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up, subscribe down below, hit the bell every time I post a video. You get an alert. God bless, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.